Hi guys. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's your friend Glory, and if this is your first time, you're welcome. If this is your second, third, fourth, fifth, what's good? Okay, so today I'll be showing you how to make a pleated skirt. This pleated skirt, and trust me, the skirt was so beautiful by the time I was done, and I want you to know how to make this skirt. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do, and don't forget to drop a comment in the comment section down below, and of course like my video, and let's get right ahead into the tutorial. Yeah. So the first step to taking your measurement of the skirt is to ensure that the length is 9 inches and the width is your hip measurement plus at least 2 inches. So I've gone ahead to create a starting line, and then I'm just going to be measuring my waist, which is 6.5 inches, and at the hip area my hip is 9 3/4, which I'll be marking like so. So I'm just going to be connecting the point with the curved ruler, and also I want it a bit shorter, so at the side seam I marked 5 inches and at the center I marked 6 inches. So I want it to be a bit curvy, that's why I'm using, you know, the curved ruler. So I'm just going to be connecting the points together, and the next step is for me to take allowance. I'm just going to be adding allowance to it. So at the at that part I'll be adding 0.5 inch allowance, and at the side seam I'll be adding 1.5 inches. So I'm just connecting the points like so. So ensure you do this, and when I'm done I'll just cut it out. So I'll just be, labeling it. So this part is a seam allowance as well as this, and now I can cut it out. So here is how the front looks like. So let's go right ahead to the back. So for the back, I'll be measuring 1.5 inches for the zipper allowance, which I'll be marking like so. So the first step for me now is to remove 0.5 inches and come down by 6 inches. This is to avoid the zipper bulge, which I'm removing like so. And after that, I can take my waist measurement, which is 6.5 inches, and I'll be marking out the point like so. I've gone ahead to take my hip measurement, so I'll just be connecting the points together. So I already marked out the point, which I'm just connecting like so. So now that I've done that, so I can actually, remove 0.5 inches from that back as well, because I've already gone in by 0.5 inches. So I have to come in also by 0.5 inches and connect the point like so. So here is how it should look like by the time you're done. So I'm just trying to erase those parts so that you understand what I mean. So I'll just be using the pattern paper, the center front pattern paper, to check if the points are correlating. So the next thing now is for me to add 1.5 inches for the side seam allowance, which I'm doing like so, and we're good to go. So now I'm just cutting through it. So, and that's that. So here is how the front and the back pattern looks like. So ensure you draft it like so. So I'll be using a cotton fabric. So this is the color I chose and I really love it. So let's get right ahead to creating the pleats. So for the pleat, and so I have to measure the top of the skirt, which is 7 inches like so. That is 6 inches in total with ½ inch allowance for the top and the bottom. So now that I've already known that, I want to add at least 11 inches or 12 inches to the pleated area. So now I'll just be marking out 15 inches in case I change the kind of length I want. So I'm kind of a bit indecisive right now. If you want to know how to make the pleated skirt, you can also check my previous videos, and you see that. So I'm just trying to press the fabric and make it look smooth. I've gone ahead to rule a line here and also mark the point for the pleats. So I'm just going to go ahead and start. And now that I've done that, I just want to, start creating my pleats the way I'm doing like so. So I used 1.5 inches for the pleat, and I also used 3 inches for the inner. So I'm just trying to pin like so. So before you ask what yardage of fabric this is, I used 3.5 yardage of fabric. So I used the width of it, so it was really really long. You don't need to use 3.5 yards. You can actually use lesser and join them together. Just ensure that the fabric is enough for the pleats you're using. So I'm marking out the points like so, and I've gone ahead to do it. So this looks so beautiful. So the next part is for me to press it, so which I'll be doing like so. So I've gone ahead to press it, and this is how it looks. And now I'll go ahead to place my pattern of fabric and cut it so that we can start the sewing process. So now that I've done that, I'm cutting this out. So this is the center front I'm cutting. I cut it on fold. So I want to use the same part fabric for the lining like so. So I'll just be cutting two pieces of the center front pattern, of the front pattern, sorry, and I'll also be cutting two pieces each of the back pattern. So this is how the front looks like. So I'm just going to double it like so. So I'll just show you how to cut out the back as well. So yes, I'm placing my fabric like this and turning it like so that I can cut two pieces of fabric at the same time. So now that I've done that, so I'm just trying to make sure the pattern is aligned like so, and I'm just going to be pinning it down. And now I've gone ahead to cut two pieces of each of the center back like so. You can see it's so easy to do that, so just take note of that. And now the next step now is for me to start joining the fabric. So here, so I want to go ahead and join the fabric together, join the pieces together. So the first step now is for me to you know join the top. So I'll just be stitching that up and top stitching it first, and I'll show you. And for the front, I'll be stitching the top as well, and I'll show you what it looks like. So I've gone ahead to stitch the top of the front and the back, and I've also top stitched as well. So as you can see, I've done that. I haven't pressed it yet, so I'm just showing you how it looks like. So I've done all of that, and now the next step is for me to stitch the zipper side by 0.5 inches. That's half inch allowance, and I've gone ahead to do that as well. So now I'll just be placing the front and the back together, and I'll be using the French method. So I want to stitch 0.5 inches on both sides, which I've already done. So I'll be trimming it to 1/4 inch, which I'll be doing like so. So you can see the measurement of that, and I'll just be cutting it through. So I noticed the side wasn't equal, so I'm just trimming that part out as well. And now the next step now is for me to flip it to the back and stitch 1 inch. So I'm just taking out the allowance necessary. So now you can see it's all overlapped, and we're left to adding the pleats to the skirt, the top skirt. So I'll be placing it like so. So ensure that you notch that bottom part of the skirt, notch the center of it the way I'm doing like so. So I've gone ahead to notch it, and I'm just going to be pinning it down to the pleats. So as you can see the placement of how I'm laying the skirt on the pleats, so ensure you place it like so. So at that point, I want to make sure that the pleat and the seam allowance is resting properly like so. And at that end point, I'm still going to pin it down. So as you can see, I left a little space there. This is for the allowance for joining the zipper. This is the back. So ensure that that allowance is there in place. So you can see how I'm doing. You can see the process of how I did it. So I want that bag to have equal pleats with the rest of the skirt pleats. So I had to measure 1.5 inch, I now added 1 inch allowance. So now I'm just going to be cutting it out carefully, and I'll be doing that for the same part. So as you can see how I placed it, so the placement is okay. So by the time I do a rolled seam for that part, you would realize that everything and the pleats are lapping on each other. So now I'll be going ahead to to stitch it in. I'll be rolling my my fabric like this and stitching it so that it would align with the top part of the skirt. So now I've gone ahead to do that, as you can see that. So now you can see that when I joined it, it looks really equal. So now I'll go ahead to stitch it down. So I'll be using 0.5 inches to stitch them down, and I've gone ahead so that you can see that the side seam, all the pleats are equal. So make sure you do that as well. So now this is very technical. So you have to be ensure that everything is the placement is perfect. So now I measured 3/4 inches, because I realized that once I put 3/4 inches, the pleats will lap well on the skirt like this, and that is my goal. So ensure that while you're doing yours, it should be the same way. So now I've gone ahead to go to the top as well. So I'm making sure that everything is in place. So now that I've seen the distance of how it should be, so I've marked the remaining points that will make it lap perfectly. So as you can see, this is how the back is after I finish stitching the pleat and the top skirts together. So make sure it looks this neat. So now I'm just going to be flipping the right sides together like so, so that I can stitch them down. So I'm just going ahead to to place it like this, and I'm going down by 9 inches. So 9 inches part is where the zipper will be. So I've gone ahead to stitch it, and it looks so beautiful. And you can see it resting perfectly on each other. So now the next step now is to add the zipper to it, so which I will be doing. So adding the zipper, I like to use invincible zipper, and the next step now is for me to press it down. So I love to press it down so that it will be very easy for me to add the zipper. And now that I'm done, I'll just be placing the zipper like this on both sides and using my zipper foot, and I'll be zip stitching the zipper on the skirt. So after that is done, so this is the finished look. So it looks so beautiful. And so I just want to wrap it up with stitching the hem part. So I ended up getting the conclusion that I want the length of the skirt to be 17 inches, so that it will be at least appropriate on my body. So now that I've done that, so I'll just be cutting this through, and I left 1 inch allowance also, that is 18 inches in total. So now that is done, I'm just going to be cutting out the zipper part, because I realized that the zipper was too long. We're cutting it like so, and just follow the process of how I did it. So I'm just going to be cutting both sides like this, joining them together like this, stitching it down, and cutting that zipper part. So this is how it looks like. It looks so beautiful and smooth. I just want to show you a review of how it looks like on me. So I realized that the waist part was still too free, so I needed to adjust that. So now I will just be, hemming it down. So I'll just be, doing it like so. So I like to stitch mine like this, so you can do the rolled hem. It depends on you. So I'm just going to be stitching it around, and now that I've done that, I'll be folding it again like so, and stitch right on this part. So yeah, this is how it looks like. It looks good. And now the next step is for me to adjust the waist side. So I'm just going to be going in, by at least 0.5 inches, and I will show you how it looks like when I'm done. So I've gone ahead to do that. So now I'm just going to be using my seam ripper to, loosen up the other edge side. So, and now that I'm done, I'll just be taking down the measurement. So yeah, the measurement is okay and it's good. After I was done, I wasn't okay with how basic the skirt looked, so I tried to add a belt loop to it. As you can see, I took it out from the pleated parts that I cut out. So I just used 1.5 inches for this, yes. So you can see I've already cut it out, done all of that. So I'm going to cut like 5 belt loops. So I've done that already. So I eventually used like 4. Yes, so I'm just going to be joining like this. So it's pretty easy. So just join it like this, and yeah, that's it. So this is the front. I've gone ahead to do that. So I'll just be doing it at the back again like so, and I will show you how it looks like. So here is the final look, and it came out so beautiful. Oh my goodness, I love it. Thank you for watching. Bye.